Yeah, yeah. So hello everyone and welcome back. So in our last video, we discussed about the artificial intelligence and generative AI and the machine learning and the deep learning in detail and also with an example. So guys, if you've not watched that lecture, then I will suggest you to go and have a look onto that video. So let's talk about large language model. So that is LLM. So what is LLM and why we are hearing so much about it? So, just to help you to understand in a very easy way and at a very high level, when you are using a smartphone, trying to text somebody, and there is actually a predictive text feature that come in there. So, like here, you can see when someone is typing, then it is getting some like predictive text that what he can use to write a message. Like for example, sure, remember, morning. So this is coming from LLM, and that's a pretty much, but this is not a very high level. But of course, it has a more massive, right? So there is a lots of more accuracy, and there is a lots of other component also involved. So likewise, when we are typing something in a chat GPT and it answers that, it is also using LM and a very strong one. So yes, like ChatGPT is an also an LLM because it is generating a text for you. So LM are nothing but a specific type of AI model that are designed to understand and generate human-like text. So there is only one key takeaway that you need to remember from this slide is that LLM means text and can understand text, they can process text, they can generate text, they know about words, grammar, sentences, context, and all with a great accuracy, right? So now, like people often use the word generative AI and the LLM into the interchange, but that is not correct. Okay, so generative AI is actually a broader like term, and it can means to generate text, images, videos, audio, music, code snippet, and many more. But anything we are talking about text, so that is an LLM. So large language model is for text generation, and generative AI is a broader picture which generate text, images, video, audio, music, and other things, right? So now let's see how the LLM works. So here in the picture you can see that we are providing a training data, and then it is going to the neural network, so that is also known as a transformer, and then we are getting the output, right? So we already know about the neural network and their capability to handle the complex scenario effectively due to their like layered structure, because neural networks are divided into layered, so it handles a complex scenarios, right? So the brain behind the LM is a specific type of neural network that is also known as a transformer. And we will not go into the deep about a transformer in this session, but of course in the later part. But only key things to know is that they are architectured and they can understand languages, right? They can understand the meaning, they can understand the context and all of that. We will also see this in more detail when we are talking about the embedding later. But for now, just remember that a transformer is a type of neural network that is really good at understanding the human language. Also, it can understand the words, meanings, context, and etc. So this transformer is a trained on lots of data or a massive data, in fact, much more than that what we see. For example, ChatGPT is trained on entire Wikipedia and many more text-based website, blogs, manuals, etc. Right? So basis of learning, it is really good at understanding text, delivering the output. So when you ask ChatGPT something, it uses its training and learning to generate you the output. And the last very important thing is to note here that when you say output here, it is really means only one word at a time. So when you use ChatGPT and when we see it giving you the long sentence paragraph, it is predicting one word at a time and the next word for the next time. So basically it is predicting only one word at a time. So it is giving only one word as output, and in this way it is forming a sentence or a program, sentence or a paragraph for you. And this is doing again and again, resulting a long sentences and a program that you see. So this is very basic understanding how the LLM works, right? So now we are going to discuss few points on LLM. Those are very important. First point is the pre-training, right? So when we were in the last module, I asked you to remember three key takeaways. And the first one is that training of a model on a good amount of data or a massive data. So that is important for it, because and large language models are trained on a huge corpus of data. That what the word large is LM means. For example, if I talk about OpenAI or the Chat GPT, they do not disclose the real volume of data that was used to train it, but some sources say that the Chat GPT 4, which is an older version of what we are using today, that is around 1 TB 1 TB of text data, which is a huge volume. Or I will say it is more than that, right? The big data set means that it has seen different kind of words, grammar, sentences, semantic, facts, information, everything it can understand. So when you feed this volume data, obviously the model will be able to train better and able to answer questions more accurately for you. So this is the first point, that it is trained with a pre-training data. It is trained with a huge corpus data. That's why it is able to answer all of your questions in a very good way. And like whatever you are asking and what you are putting a scenario, it is getting trained every time. So day to day it is becoming better and better, right? So the second key point is like size and scale. So LLM use massive neural networks that are called transformers, like I mentioned in my last previous slide. So it has been trained the model during the training. So higher the number of parameters, the better is your model and training understand and generation capabilities. So now so now again the chat GPT 4 or 5. Okay, so it has been used with the huge like parameters. So this LM is very huge. Okay, so their size are very huge. So that's why if you look at like a chat GPT, for example, and if you ask anything, it understand your questions, right? It give you the good answer. And the reason is that it is trained on a massive data, and also it is trained on the huge parameter based transformers, neural networks. So this is the second point. The third point is fine tuning. Fine tuning means you can target any model to be trained in a particular domain so that it can be more effective on a particular model. For example, let's say I want to train my model for effective to be into a healthcare domain. Then you can provide a huge amount of data or train that model for a particular healthcare domain, so that that particular model will be means highly efficient for that particular healthcare sector. So if you will ask whatever questions related to the healthcare, it is able to provide you the answer for that. It means you can fine tune any model by providing a targeted training data for a specific domain or a specific task, right? So these are the three, I mean, the points which you should like take. So next is we will discuss about some use cases. So where can the LM can be used? So answer is anything that involve text, and in fact they are being used in many of these spaces already. First is the content generation, right? So you are in a marketing advertising sale anywhere, you can use LMS like ChatGPT or a Llama for our text context generation. So you can anywhere you can use for marketing advertising. So content generation is already there and we have discussed this. So this is the one use case. Second use case can be chatbot or a virtual assistance, right? So this is the area where LM will make a huge impact. When we are chatting with a customer support, so LM can replace the first level of engagement and answer questions for you based on the company documentation. So that is a chatbot. Nowadays you have seen that every company nowadays in their official website they are using a chatbot, so that it can replace the human interaction and they can reply for you for your basic queries. So they read their documentation and provide the answer of the queries of the customer. So how this is happening? This is happening through the LLM. Okay, so they have created a chatbot with the LLM, and they are replacing the first level of interaction of the human. So third use case is the language translation. So there are translation already available in the market for long time, but LLM can expand on those translations and do conversation based on chatting that can give you the better result. So when you have a text summarization, so imagine you have a, oh yeah, so next point is like text summarization. So imagine like you have a long paragraph and a long sentences. So human have to read all of those sentences or the hues like program or documentation to understand the context of it. But what LLM can do, LLM can provide you the summary of all those, so that you can understand in a very shorter period of time. So it can reduce the lengthy context and provide you the summarization of that particular documentation, right? And the finally use case can be, yeah, so last but not the least, I will say Q&A, probably the most used use case. We ask ChatGPT for any questions and give, so it give you the pointed answer. Imagine that if you want to know who won the World Cup. Okay, so like it will provide you the answer, right? So I don't have to go into the anywhere or any website, just I can ask anything from the chat gpt or any AI, then they can provide you the answer. So how they are doing this? So yeah, so this is the use case basically to get the answer from it. So guys, there are some of the use cases of LM, but remember that the list of the use cases of LM is not limited. It can so it has a more use cases, which we will understand later when we will go ahead in this like module. So like LM can change every way that we interact and manipulate the text data, and the list of LLM is growing every day, from GPT to Llama to POM to Point LMS to the auto industry, finance industry, right? Every day a new model is coming. Every day the models are getting trained better and better with the huge data sets. So in this way we can get the more innovative applications in coming days. So now that you understand the capability of LLM and what is LLM and how it is impacting our daily life. So that is all about LLM. So next video we will go more, and then we will see the more like common terms or the technology used in the generative AI. So for then, thank you and have a nice day.